Did you know that up to 30% of Americans struggle with persistent anxiety? 38% of workers reported being fatigued, and up to 20% of the world's population are reporting food sensitivities. And up to 90% of doctor's visits are due to stress-related conditions. If you found your way to this training video, you probably haven't felt like yourself in a long time. And maybe it's been so long that you're not really even sure of what yourself feels like anymore. Maybe you're one of the statistics I just mentioned. You've probably been to multiple doctors and practitioners, tried several different approaches, done all the things to feel better, yet you're still not where you want to be. And really, you're just sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And while you're so busy thinking and stressing over your own wellness, you've lost the ability to truly feel happiness and joy. Well, that was my story as well. And renewing my mind and rewiring my brain with Christ using the 5-step method I'm about to share with you was the missing link in the reversal of more than 20 absolutely evil symptoms. I know what it's like to wake up each morning with a multitude of debilitating symptoms, to feel trapped in a body that is suffering with no end in sight. And I also know what it's like to emerge from the other side with abundant wellness. I've got news for you. No matter what you may have been told in the past, friend, you are not doomed to a life of managing anxiety, chasing symptoms through avoidance, medications, supplements, detox protocols, or restrictive diets. Regulating the stress response by retraining the brain has helped countless people overcome persistent anxiety, plus a whole host of chronic symptoms and sensitivities. And with some commitment, it can help you too. You do not have to settle for being one of the statistics I just mentioned. So stick with me to the end of this training, because the information and the method I'm about to outline for you might just be an answer to prayer and finally lead you towards a life of abundance and peace. If you desire to wake up each morning feeling rested, peaceful, and excited for the day, to have all the strength and stamina you need at any moment to pursue what you were created to do, to be able to plan for the future without fear of how you'll feel or react to foods or situations, to live each day to the fullest, feeling present and less reactive to those around you, if you long to feel closer and more intimately connected to God than maybe ever before, then you are in the right place. I'm Angel Lavelle, a follower of Christ, wife, mother, registered nurse, integrative health coach, and the creator of Renew and Rewire, the 5-step life-changing method we'll be breaking down together in just a moment. With over 2 decades of combined experience in women's health, education, coaching, and ministry, I have helped hundreds of women thrive through life's most challenging situations to reach their goals and find solutions so they can prosper and be in good health. There were seasons in my own life where I struggled with debilitating symptoms and sensitivities that seemed to appear out of nowhere. While the first symptoms appeared in my early 20s, it wasn't until my mid-30s that they would escalate to the point of seeking out help. I started with my medical doctor, who, after finding nothing wrong, offered anxiety and antidepressant medications. Not desiring to head down that path, I decided to seek help from my church, where well-intended advice only left me feeling more conflicted than set free. It was at this time I began looking into a more functional and holistic approach. I did achieve some relief, but at the cost of lots of testing, restrictive diets, lots and lots of supplements, and avoidance of any foods, toxins, or situations that might trigger or contribute to symptoms. This approach would manage symptoms, but my life had become safe and small. In hindsight, I became consumed with living a healthy lifestyle. Then COVID hit, and for months following the infection, I was plagued night and day. After trying everything I knew as a nurse and health coach to recover, and spending thousands of dollars on holistic treatments and protocols, therapy, gadgets with little or temporary relief, I was filled with panic and discouragement. I felt disconnected from myself, my family, my friends, and God. In short, I was stuck. It wasn't until I was introduced to the principles of neuroscience and the brain's ability to change that I was able to finally break free from the onslaught of symptoms that consumed me night and day to fulfill God's best plans for my life. Praise God, I can now say all of that is in the past. Take a second and get a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. I'm about to introduce you to a 5-step method that combines brain science and biblical truths, plus a daily practice for partnering with God as the ultimate source of healing, body, soul, and spirit. This is the exact framework that liberated me and ultimately ended the symptom-chasing cycle. It gave me my life back, and I am confident with some commitment that it can do the same for you. All right, step 1, recognize. This step is about making the connection between your brain, nervous system, and those symptoms. Seems simple, right? Well, do not underestimate the power of making this connection. Once I was able to understand that A, I wasn't going crazy, B, it wasn't all in my head, and C, there was a solution, I was able to stop all the Googling and searching for answers and focus on rewiring my brain, allowing my nervous system to heal as God intended. Have you ever wondered why you can't seem to get your worried, looping thoughts and unpredictable emotions under control despite your best efforts? You've tried changing your diet, exercising, breath work, mindfulness, somatics. You've tried medications, supplements, detoxes, and even praying, but nothing seems to work or get you the lasting results you so desire. Well, I might just be the first to say it. It's not your fault, and it's not all in your head, but rather in your brain. Your survival brain, to be specific, the limbic system. This region of the brain consists of specific structures that are always on the lookout for our safety. These structures play an important role in various functions, including emotional regulation, memory retrieval, and triggering the stress response. The survival brain, specifically the amygdala, is intimately connected to the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary bodily processes. These are the things that happen outside of your control, like breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure. It consists of 2 branches, a sympathetic and a parasympathetic branch. The sympathetic branch activates the release of stress hormones and triggers the fight, flight, freeze response. It's like stepping on the gas pedal in a car, revving you up for action. On the other hand, the parasympathetic branch triggers the rest and digest response and promotes the release of feel-good hormones that help to slow things down. It's similar to hitting the brake pedal on a car. A well-regulated nervous system is able to smoothly shift between these 2 branches, with the majority of the time spent in the parasympathetic dominant state where healing occurs. Sometimes the interplay between these branches can become dysregulated, often as a result of accumulating stressors or traumas. When this happens, the limbic system can become hypersensitive, keeping the body in a constant state of fight, flight, or freeze. In this heightened state, both the body and brain remain on high alert, perceiving life through a continual lens of fear. Over time, this can have profound effects on nearly every organ and system in the body, resulting in a wide range of random and perplexing symptoms. Understanding and addressing the dysregulated stress response is critical if you want to overcome persistent anxiety and chronic symptoms once and for all. And failing to address this dysregulation is like trying to empty a bathtub with the faucet still running, and the primary reason all those other methods have failed you. Once this root issue is addressed, the medications, supplements, and other treatments will work better or may no longer be necessary. Okay, well, this brings us to step 2, receive, embracing a faith-filled kingdom mindset. God wants you well, friend. He does not delight in seeing his children suffer. He made your brain. He can help you rewire it. This step is about learning to partner with Him during the process. The journey involves wiring truth into your brain and consistently positioning yourself to receive the benefits of being a chosen child of God. It encompasses growth in identity, faith, belief, and forging a deeper connection to God. It will empower you to learn to walk by faith and not by sight. Romans 8:37 says, "No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us." All right, that brings us to step 3, renew. Romans 12 tells us not to be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds. What does that look like to renew the mind? Well, it begins by identifying obsolete brain pathways. Those are the automatic, no longer helpful ways of thinking, feeling, or behaving that have become wired into the non-conscious brain. These conditioned responses can show up as intrusive thoughts, negative thinking patterns, coping behaviors or strategies, strongholds, limiting beliefs, or lies that we may have come to believe. These pathways are often triggered on an unconscious level outside of our awareness. These patterns are usually deeply ingrained into the subconscious mind, shaping our beliefs, perceptions, and reactions without us even realizing it. These automatic thoughts can arise due to past experiences, traumas, or conditioning. A simple process to help you identify these unconscious pathways begins by answering a few questions. What am I thinking, feeling, and doing? Is this promoting stress or feel-good hormones? And does this align with my goals or God's plan for my life? If it does not, you have identified an obsolete pathway that is in need of an update. We will break this process down in detail and learn ways to renew these patterns within the program, but you can get started today by flagging those pathways as they subconsciously arise. All right, this brings us to step 4, rewire. Here we begin shifting brain pathways using the 7-station Renew and Rewire training technique. The practice is experiential in nature, encouraging positive emotions and effectively communicating with your survival brain. It incorporates various elements such as spoken word, simple movements, gestures, and visualizations to achieve this. Did you know that the brain has a difficult time distinguishing between that which is real or imagined? Research shows that imagining a specific experience or emotional state can activate the same neural connections and trigger similar brain chemistry as if the experience was actually happening. Visualizations are also an effective tool that can be used to deepen your connection with God and wire biblical truths into your life. Here's how this can work. Get alone today, even for just a few minutes, and recall a pleasant memory from your past, or imagine something you would like to accomplish in the future. Maybe it's your wedding day, a beach vacation you've been dreaming of, or maybe the day you came to know Jesus. You will want to speak out loud and describe the event in vivid detail as if it were happening right now. What are you doing? Who are you with? How do you feel? What do you see, hear, taste, or smell? Spend a few minutes here and see how you do. If this feels awkward right now, you can start by finding a comfortable position and playing your favorite worship song. Let the music move you, focusing intently on the words and letting the positive emotions arise. If you don't have a favorite song, you can search for Day After Day, Jesus Reigns by City Alight, that's A-L-I-G-H-T, or The Lord Is My Salvation by Shane and Shane. And this brings us to the final step, re-expose. Imagine eating what you want without fear of how you'll react. Imagine feeling calm and relaxed in every situation, resilient, brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. Living out your life's calling free from limitations. In step 5, we learn a technique to desensitize the stress response in small yet manageable steps so these goals can become your reality. All right, that's it. Let me wrap up with this. Remember, you are not destined for a life filled with ruminating thoughts, worry, fear, sleepless nights, unpredictable symptoms and sensitivities caused by an alarm system that's stuck in the past. By partnering with God and utilizing the 5-step method outlined above, you will be equipped with everything you need to break free from this pattern and create a life filled with stability, growth, and resilience. Your brain will have no other choice but to change. Give it a try. You'll be so glad that you did. Divine health and peace are within reach, friend. I would be honored to walk alongside you on your journey to freedom. Take the next step by clicking the link below. Peace and grace.